What's up, you Biconics wrestling nerds out there? And welcome to a very long overdue but exciting episode of your Raw Squad reviews for WWE Monday Night Raw. We are back. We are better than ever. I'm so excited to finally get back to Monday Night Raw. A lot has happened since we last covered Monday Night Raw, but we're going to do our best. Of course, I am Mikey, joined by my lovely co-host, El Fakador himself, Minnie, aka Evan, my friend. How are we?
I don't think you should be talking until I'm over here wearing a full luchador mask.
That's very fair. But, as I mentioned, we are here to review your Monday Night Raw from Monday, December 18th, 2023. And this is going to be technically the last episode of Monday Night Raw for 2023, because next week on Christmas Day is going to be a best of. So therefore, even though we were gone for a week, we get another week off, which is going to be great. We'll talk about what Monday Night Raw looks like in the next 2 weeks, because when we come back with the regular episode, we are having the special Day 1 edition of Monday Night Raw, which is really interesting that they took a one-time pay-per-view and now they're calling it a different special, which is appropriate, but we'll get into that. Without further ado, let's just jump straight in. As always, as it seems to be on Monday Night Raw, we kick off with the Judgment Day. Yeah, we've already stated this. I was like, I thought we got away with Judgment Day always kicking off Monday Night Raw, but nope. But honestly, this one was funny. It's been funny. So Judgment Day tries to cut a serious promo, and then of course everyone's national treasure, R-Truth, comes out, and it's just like, yo bro, you didn't tell me we're gonna be to kick off the show. I'm like,
was this R-Truth's first match since coming back?
yes it was, which is crazy. So before we get to the match itself, Judgment Day is like, R-Truth, you're not a part of Judgment Day, we told you this. And so R-Truth cons Judgment Day into getting them to agree to have someone fight him in a Miracle on 34th Street fight, and it happens to be JD McDonough. And Truth makes the stipulation himself that the loser leaves Judgment Day. And everyone's, what is happening? All right, sure, why not? Which then leads into our match, R-Truth versus JD McDonough in a Miracle on 34th Street fight. This was just nonsense and fun all around. And it was so nice that Truth got a win here, and you are right. This is his first match. But this is his first match since returning to WWE, and this was fun as expected. But what were your thoughts on our Miracle on 34th Street fight?
There wasn't enough carnage, but at least somebody went through a table.
We can check that off the list as somebody went through a table. Sting!
Somebody went through a table, but there wasn't enough carnage and chaos. Nobody really got hit with the kendo stick. Yeah, they hit each other with the tree a couple times, but it didn't really look like there was enough street in the street fight.
That's very fair. I think this was the most tamest street fight I ever saw. It was still fun, and it was nice to see Truth pick up a victory. And at this point in the show, this meant that JD was going to get kicked out of Judgment Day, which we revisit that later in the show. I thought this was a fun way to open up the show. I feel that the Judgment Day now being at the expense of R-Truth, like clowning them, has been really, really fun, because they've taken themselves so seriously the last few months. It's nice to see them play around, to be a little bit more comedic with the craziness and the tomfoolery that is professional wrestling. From here, we get our backstage segment where we see our number one contenders for the Undisputed Women's Tag Team Championship match. We have Tana Chance and Kaden Carter getting ready for their match. And listen, I love them from NXT. They are both great, and they're ready for this match. And that's what they say in this little post-free interview. They're like, we ready, we want this, we got this, we're gonna do what we need to, and they go and continue to get ready. It then leads into Nia Jax coming out to the ring to cut a promo. I don't think I asked you this question, but how do we feel about Nia Jax coming back to WWE?
I don't like it. I don't like her. She looks like a Karen. This is coming from me wearing a luchador mask. She looks like a Karen. She sounds like a Karen, and she hurts people. Like, Nia Jax is my Olaf for the women's division.
My goodness.
I saw her come out and skip the entire promo segment. I didn't care.
Damn. All right, so then that leads me to cover what this is. Really quickly, Nia Jax basically reiterates what she told Becky during their face-off not that long ago. And then Becky Lynch comes out. They continue this promo. Ultimately, this back and forth sets up a match where we're going to get Nia versus Becky at day 1 in 2 weeks. And Nia's hometown is San Diego. So I debated about going to see that, but I'm like, no, it's the holidays. And plus, I don't want to travel 2.5 hours. That's very far.
Especially your traffic. Yeah, it's really terrible.
San Diego's really bad with traffic, but it is what it is. But basically, this sets up their match at day 1. I love Becky. I'm ready for this to be over with Nia Jax, if I'm being completely honest, so we can move Becky on to what I hope is still the plan, to have her face Rhea at WrestleMania, but we shall see what's going to go down with that. Really quickly, backstage, again, Kofi Kingston out here doing the Lord's work of being Kofi Kingston and the New Day, so he is Kofi Claus. In his
Kofi Claus.
I love Kofi Claus, him and his little spandex.
Dude, that was funny, especially watching him do the jump in his truck. Oh,
right? It's just Kofi Kingston and Xavier Woods, New Day just in general. I was just like, they are the ambassadors for WWE. There's no way you can ever turn them heel because they're too over and they're too lovable to ever turn them. It's Kofi Claus out here delivering presents to the kids, and Kofi Claus will be making a reappearance during a certain match, which makes me interested if we're getting a feud from that, but we'll talk about that. From here, we get our first championship match of the evening for the WWE Intercontinental Championship, The Miz versus Gunther. I liked the match that they had at Survivor Series. I really love this one.
Dude, this match was it was a banger. Like, this year has stepped his in-ring work up so much. That's been his biggest flaw. And everybody is saying his in-ring work is always super not the best, so it's mediocre. This year he stepped it up so much. He's been so good at the in-ring stuff with what he's been doing recently.
I was so blown away. I was just like, I always have come to appreciate Miz's work in the ring, and this last year he's been putting it in. But geez Louise, man, this match just in general, this ruled. And what I really actually loved is that Gunther pulled out another wrestler's move. Just, I don't know if it was an homage or a tease, but at the end, he literally hit Okada's Rainmaker on the Miz.
For that, we also did mention R-Truth took the 5-knuckle shuffle in his match with JD McDonough.
I love that wrestlers are pulling up everything. It's a beautiful thing, but oh my goodness, man. Unfortunately, as much as Miz has put in the offense and he takes Gunther to the limit, so to speak, Gunther does pick up the victory here. And of course, with the powerbomb and the clothesline and another powerbomb, Gunther retains and is still your WWE Intercontinental Champion. And the added stipulation of that is that if Miz loses, he could not challenge for the Intercontinental Championship so long as Gunther remains champion. So Miz can no longer go after this IC title so long as Gunther is champ, which we shall see how long that is, because we're going to get into his little backstage segment with the rest of Imperium, which is going to be interesting to see. But if I'm being completely honest, I thought, personally for me, this was early in the night, but this was my match of the night. I really enjoyed this one.
The match was anticipated to be.
Yeah, what I really liked about this is that Survivor Series was the teaser, and then this was about the same amount of time that they got, but with a couple more minutes. And man, hats off to both of these men, because they set the bar. And once again, the IC title is now no longer just a joke title. It's serious. And this is actually a feud as short as it's been, where I was like, I knew the wrestling was going to be good with Gunther as champion, but now this is a feud. I was like, you know what? This was a really small feud, but I really enjoyed it. And Gunther continues to rack up days as the Intercontinental Champion, which I'm excited. Next up, we get a video package that kind of highlights the journey that the Creed brothers have taken from when they were younger to NXT to the main roster, which is basically hyping them up for their match later in the main event. I really love the Creeds. I think they're really great. Julius is a beast, and I am so happy to see both them and Ivy Nile on Monday Night Raw, which is a lot of fun. Then Imperium and Kofi Claus have an interaction, and this is where I was laughing so hard because Imperium tells Kofi Claus to go away. Kofi was hurt by it, so he gave Imperium coal.
So you gotta be good all year. When you weren't, he wasn't wrong.
I just love the fact that Imperium has like had the weirdest, like specifically Ludwig and Giovanni like have had the weirdest trajectory of the main roster. Like, remember when Ludwig was trying to get a date with Maxine not too long ago when they were feuding with Alpha Academy?
Ludwig is such a weird. So yeah, they put him in so.
I know there was that one, and then I thought we were gonna get more from their feud with DIY, but that kind of has been dropped a little bit, it seems. And it looks to be, for spoiler alert, what looks to be what happens during Ludwig's match later in the evening. It seems we might be getting New Day versus Imperium, which I'm not gonna complain about. That would be a baller feud.
You know what? I'm hoping that that feud happens also have the return of Big E.
I would love to have Big E return in some capacity, even if he can't wrestle, just to be out in front of the crowd again. I miss Big E Langston. I love him so much. So Kofi Claus delivers coal to Imperium, which is then cut. Okay, so this was probably my favorite backstage segment just because I'm a big fan of Shinsuke, but I love what we've been doing with him post Seth Rollins feud. Shinsuke gets a whole entire segment with animated titles and video packages, but he reads the Nightmare Before Christmas. This segment, when I tell you, Evan, was one of my favorite things in this evening outside of my match of the night. I thought this was my segment of the night. This is everything I wanted Shinsuke to be, and honestly, I kind of like this feud between him and Cody.
I'm listening to this and hearing him call his dad inbred. Well, he was calling Dusty Rhodes inbred.
Oh my God. Bro, when Shinsuke said that line, I paused my television and I had to take a moment. I was just like, oh my God, they allowed Shinsuke to say it and they allowed him to go there. I was like, holy crap, Shinsuke.
I was like, there's. Oh. Shinsuke was all out. There's also some spots where he said something in Japanese but they didn't subtitle it. I'm hoping he was talking at him.
Honestly, I hope so too, or he said something that shouldn't be transcribed for American audiences for the subtitles. What I really enjoyed is since Shinsuke has come back from wherever he was, a vacation, a hiatus, whatever, since Triple H has been in charge, he's allowed Shinsuke to be this really creepy character and just wanting to fight everybody and just is literally the embodiment of an anime supervillain, which I'm here for.
Oh yeah. See, Triple H has been letting all the Japanese wrestlers have them back. Even the boy King Tozawa had a little bit of a showcase tonight.
Ooh, we'll get to him because I was actually very impressed and I loved that match, but I figured, I was like, damn, Cody's just gonna let Shinsuke talk about all this mess, and nope, sure enough, Cody comes in, has had enough, and then there's a backstage brawl, which then leads to the ring where everybody's fighting. Shinsuke is trying to do some damage. Cody is about to fight, but it doesn't happen. And I'm just like, I'm sitting here and I'm wondering, I was like, please let this be a Rumble match. I would love to see this.
I was upset because they didn't let him go to the table.
I know. I was like, no, none. I got excited. I was like, how dare you not give me another table spot? But I feel like Monday Night Raw can only give you one table spot a week. So that's their limit. But I wasn't sure how invested I was going to be in this feud when it initially started, but I am all for this feud, especially after this little segment, because again, I love that Shinsuke is allowed to cut promos in Japanese. It just makes it more intimidating, if that makes any sense. I was like, it's so creepy. It makes him more intimidating. And this is the Shinsuke that I've always wanted for the last couple of years, and we're finally getting him. But from one Japanese wrestler to another, let's talk about our boy Akira Tozawa. So backstage, he's with Adam Pearce, and we don't know the context of this conversation they had prior to the camera being there. But Adam Pearce tells Akira, are you sure you want this match? And Akira's, yes, I want this match. He's like, all right, it's booked, but good luck out there. So I'm like, what is gonna happen? Adam Pearce was busy in this segment because then our women's tag team champions, Chelsea Green and Piper Niven, come in, and Chelsea is not happy that they have to defend the titles against Hayden and Katana later tonight, and they try to get out of it. Adam Pearce is not having that, and I love Chelsea just being super like petty. It's just fine. I'm gonna call Nick Aldis and see what he has to say about it. Which I love that Adam Pearce and Nick Aldis still hate each other. I was just like, the GMs are fighting.
Good. Give us SmackDown versus Raw again. Those are some bragging rights was actually some banging things back in the day.
Seriously, ever since the return of on-screen GMs with the addition of Nick Aldis as SmackDown General Manager and Adam Pearce Raw General Manager, it just feels so different. I love seeing the on-screen authority figures and actual GMs running this. It reminds me of circa when Teddy Long was GM of SmackDown and JBL of Raw and all that. I was just like harking back to those days, which I love.
Dude, those were the days, man. Every time they would come out, oh, you're having a tag team match against King of the Tag Team matches.
Seriously, I
or
love.
you could be against other people.
That is also very fair. Then, as soon as Chelsea and Piper leave, we also get Bronson Reed, who immediately is just, listen, Gunther and Miz is done. Gunther's gonna need more contenders. I want to be next in line for that title, and Adams will figure something out. Listen, Gunther versus Bronson Reed, I want it so bad.
It's gonna be two big men just beating the heck out of each other.
Oh my gosh, the world is not ready. Just like how I wasn't ready for this WWE Women's Tag Team Championship match.
Dude.
This match was so freaking good.
Holy crap. Holy crap. Those little girls.
Listen, I love Chelsea and Piper, and they're two of my favorite individually. But when I tell you, these tag team title belts for the women's division were made for Katana and Kaden because they're one of the few actual women's tag teams. Like, man, this was just, listen, Chelsea and Piper played their part. They did awesome stuff, but this truly was a showcase for Katana and Kaden, and they are legit a women's tag team. Their offense, their tag team tandem. In the words of our other co-host, Andrea, who is our tag team expert here on the Biconics, just the synchronicity and just how much and how long they work together comes into play in this match. Literally, you can't throw two individuals together and call them a tag team. There are just certain things that they pick up on. This match was so much fun, and I was so shocked but pleasantly surprised that we have new women's tag team champions after this match.
Do you know how I actually predicted it before? Because when Piper Niven and Chelsea Green came out, what's her name? The ring announcer. She didn't say Chelsea Green's name like she normally does. She just called it like normal. Normally she does like the high pitch like Chelsea Green. She didn't do that this time. I was like, oh, they're probably gonna lose.
You know what? That's an interesting thing that you picked up on. And honestly, now that I think about it, you're right. Usually when they win, she does that special Chelsea Green with it, but she didn't do it this time. That's crazy, but man, Triple H has always been a big supporter of Katana and Kaden, and just the fact that he believes in them so much, now that they have these tag team championships, I'm ready to see the women's tag team division begin to flourish, because these things can be defended on main roster and NXT. There's a lot of NXT women's tag teams down there that can have a match against them. But more importantly, I'm ready for Alba Fire and Isla Dawn to come back fully to SmackDown, and I want that feud really badly between those two teams.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Like, the party girls versus the witchy girls, I'm here for it.
The brave girls versus your goth girls. Which one do you guys want?
Yes.
Rhea Ripley.
Yo, if there was a faction between those four and Rhea Ripley, I was like, game over, y'all lose.
The Rhea mommy. Sorry. And what was next?
After our Women's Tag Team Championship match, quickly backstage, Alpha Academy is hyping up Akira Tozawa for his match, which then leads to another backstage segment where Katana and Kaden are celebrating, and Candice LeRae and Indy Hartwell are going to go party with them, which then leaves Tegan Nox and Natalya with Shayna Baszler and Zoe Stark, figuring out that now that we have new champs, we're going to need new #1 contenders. So these two teams are wanting to fight it out to see who's going to be the first in line to face the new champions for those titles, which leads into the announcement that at day 1 for in a #1's contender match, Tegan Nox and Natalya will be taking on Shayna Baszler and Zoe Stark. Winner will get first shot at the new tag team champions, which I'm excited for.
What makes me concerned about that is I think they're going to be transitional champs.
Why'd you have to say that?
I think Shayna Baszler and her squad's going to take, and Zoe Stark, they're going to take it. And they're going to be transitional champs for them.
I hope not. I want to see Kaden and Katana at least get somewhat of a run, but we shall see. I do have a little more faith in Hunter, though, being the one in charge of this, so I think there's going to be a plan, but who knows? We'll just have to wait and see. But again, I'm still excited because these 4 women I know can go individually, and all 4 of them in this match is going to be great. And I think Zoe Stark has had a really good showing. Even though the match was short, I really enjoyed the match that she had with Rhea at Survivor Series. That was a stellar match.
That's true.
So now we get to the fun part. This is where we've been building up with. Akira Tozawa has his match, and we come to find out it's against Ivar. I was like, oh, this poor man is about to get destroyed.
You know what?
He did. He actually got some
Akira looks like he almost hurt himself.
Yes. This was more back and forth than I thought it was going to be, and I thoroughly enjoyed that.
Akira hit him. Ivar hit Akira with a heel kick, and Akira did like a flip, and he landed on the back of his head. I'm not sure if you noticed that. I was like, oh, he might have just hurt himself.
Akira Tozawa was on fire, but of course, as we learned and what we saw, Ivar ended up flattening our junior cadet of Alpha Academy. But you know what? I like that. Akira in this comedy role since joining Alpha Academy has been really good for his character. I really love seeing him with Alpha Academy. I love Akira Tozawa and I love Alpha Academy. These 4 being a faction is so good and I love it so much. Okay, so I want to get your thoughts on this because we didn't review last week's Monday Night Raw, but there was a lot that went down because then we got a recap package of Punk's and Seth Rollins promo from last week. We didn't get a chance to talk about it, so I want to take some time to talk about it. Listen, the reports have come out that there was no script, there was no producer behind that segment. Seth and CM Punk went out there and did their own thing with this, and Lord have mercy, I thought this promo battle was so freaking.
It's not an approval from a luchador.
Yes, I've always wanted approval from a luchador. I'm winning at life.
I was reading news that popped up on my thing about Bray Wyatt, so.
It's good
news.
Oh, you know what? Breaking news live on air. My luchador friend.
It's not breaking. 6 hours ago, Michael and Tony were doing the WWE put the late great Bray Wyatt on Legends contract with all the proceeds going to Wyatt's family. Also said the more you buy Bray Wyatt's merch, the more money will be employed for kids.
Oh man, it's unfortunate that we lost Bray Wyatt earlier this year, but man, good on WWE for having everything, all the proceeds go towards the family and the kids. Man, like, I can't even imagine what they went through and what they're still going through at the aftermath after all this. Normally, WWE, you've had a shaky history of doing good things, but this is the one of the few times I will give you kudos because that is the right thing to do. And I love it. So good job, WWE. You make me.
Thank you, Russell Ops, for that.
Yeah, shout out to Wrestle Ops for that breaking news. Seriously. But back to this promo. Again, I'm excited I'm telling you right now, this is your main event for night 1 of WrestleMania. Punk's winning that Rumble, I think, and he's going to be facing Seth for that title.
He'll win it and he'll retire because he got his WrestleMania match.
That would be hilarious. Seth versus Punk, I think, is your night 1 main event, so I'm excited for this. That promo battle was great. I'm excited to see where this goes. So this is going to be money. Speaking of things that were money, we got another amazing in-ring promos battle, this time with Seth and Drew McIntyre. This got real quick because Drew McIntyre pulled at my heartstrings because he let us in behind the curtain of everything that he's been dealing with, from his parents getting sick to missing his family, watching them grow old, and just talking about the business in general of how much you have to sacrifice in order to be here. And he made me feel sympathetic towards him. He said, I need this to mean something to me, Seth, so I have to take that title from you and I need to beat you down to get it. It's nothing personal, but I need this. And I was like, this is some of Drew's best work in WWE to date. And that is not an opinion for me, that is a fact. I think this is the best work he has done character-wise. My luchador friend, what did you think of Seth and Drew's back and forth?
It was very similar to Seth. I'm not sure how I feel about it. Should I feel bad for Drew, or should I be like, nah, you're just being pussy? Because he says all this stuff. You know what? Nah, screw you, I'm gonna hit you anyways. Because you know what? I'm a dick. Is it really worth it if you cheat to win the belt? Is it? It's not. Have ways. It's not gonna feel good.
And you know what? Seth called him out on that. He's not sure whether to believe Drew or call him out on his crap. And he says that he doesn't hate him like he hates Punk, but he's not gonna give Drew any pity. So Seth says, I wish you happy holidays, and I'll see you at day one, which then gives us the kind of brawl beatdown for both of them. And they're yelling at each other, and Drew yells at Seth saying that he doesn't need his pity to end this particular segment. I am so ready for this main event match at day one in 2 weeks for Monday Night Raw. Do I think Drew's going to take the title? No. Do I think it's going to be an amazing match? Hell yes. I think this match is going to be good. I'm so ready for that main event. Before we get to another main event that we know, backstage really quickly, Cody kind of talks to the Creeds a little bit, thanking them for the Creeds having his back the last couple weeks, and he just wishes them good luck in their championship match later tonight. And I'm like, Cody, take the Creeds, form a faction with them. That would be amazing. But I digress. But now we're on to another main event star. Main event Jey Uso taking on Ludwig Kaiser. This
impromptu match.
Yes, an impromptu match. And of course, I'm so happy that Yeet is allowed to be used on television again.
I like how every single time Jey puts Yeet, Yeet, Yeet.
Listen, I love that when something happens unexpectedly, the internet takes it and runs with it, because the drunken Yeet origin story is the best thing that has happened in professional wrestling for WWE the last couple months. Just Cody and Jey just being drunk off their butts during that scrub was the best moment and made me feel good. This is why I like wrestling. What's up, Cody? Oh. And then Yeet. That's the next thing I'm adding to the soundboard. I'm gonna get Yeet. Yes.
What's up, Mikey? Oh.
What's up, Minnie? Yeet. We have way too much fun here. And for an impromptu match, this actually was a fun one. Now, I talked about this at the beginning, but Kofi Claus comes back and he gets a little bit of a lick back because he kicks Ludwig Kaiser in the middle of this match. I'm just like, oop, there it goes. And of course, Uso splash off the top rope. And main event Jey Uso picks up a victory here, which was really great. I love to see it. Man, this was a lot of fun. Jey continuing to rack up wins. But I'm interested to see now, where do we go with Jey? Because I thought him and Drew were going to have some stuff. Since Drew is busy with Seth, I guess...
I think Jey's going to beat Gunther.
You know what? That'd be interesting. Now, I forgot to mention earlier in the show, Gunther is backstage with Imperium, is disappointed in them, as y'all are screwing this up. I'm the only one winning here. I'm going to go to recharge for a couple of weeks, so y'all need to handle business here while I'm gone. And Ludwig already messed that plan up because he lost to Jey.
You lost to Jey.
That's very fair. Now, what I think and what I hope happens is that we get Imperium versus New Day for a little bit, and which I think is going to be a really fun feud. I'm just imagining all the ways that Kofi and Xavier can mess with these super serious characters. I'm excited for that. So then we cut backstage to another gold segment. JD McDonough looks like death just happened. He looked like someone kicked his puppy because Judgment Day's in the back. They're talking about JD's, bro, you can't kick me out of Judgment Day. And everyone's trying to call him down except for Damian Priest is, nah, fam, you gotta get out of here. Hit the bricks, Slappy. But then, of course, Mommy comes in and is just like, JD, you don't gotta go nowhere. Everyone needs to calm down. I was like, nobody's getting kicked out of Judgment Day. But I need to tell to everyone, and we need to be serious. Every time we lose, everyone thinks that we're a joke and they can step to us. We need to remind everyone that what happens when you step to the Judgment Day. So just like Ivy Nile stepped to me at day 1, I'm going to fight her, and I will even be willing to put my title on the line. And I'm going to remind the women's division why I run this place. So at day 1 for the WWE Women's Championship, it is going to be Rhea Ripley versus Ivy Nile. And listen, there is Goth Mommy and Muscle Mommy and Ivy Nile, and this is the battle of the moms. I'm so ready for this.
Big muscle woman things, big muscle woman things.
Yes, I am so ready. I don't care what nobody says. That is going to be big women meat slapping big women meat. I'm so ready for this. So now we've come to our main event for the undisputed WWE World Tag Team Championship match. This is the Creeds taking on the Judgment Day, being represented by Finn Balor and Damian Priest. This was a really fantastic tag team match. I thought this was so good. Of course, I figured that the Judgment Day wasn't going to lose their titles here, but man, what a showcase from the Creeds.
And technically still, nobody is kicked out of the, football.
I love the Brutus. Yeah, I love the Brutus.
Nobody's kicked out of it.
I love the Brutus ball. It is so good. I'm telling you, man, the Creeds had a really awesome showing. But of course, Judgment Day still reigns supreme. They are still your undisputed WWE World Tag Team Championships. And they celebrate as Monday Night Raw goes off the air for this week. I really enjoyed this Monday Night Raw. This was one of the better episodes that we watched in the last couple weeks. I feel that post-Survivor Series, Raw has felt really different, and I'm excited to see what the future holds. Now, let's just go into our ratings. So here at the Raw Squad, we like to use the out of 10 scale, and I think we agreed we're also using the mini scale here out of 10.
Yeah, it's in the SmackDown. He's using minis, I think.
Yeah, so the WWE boys are using the mini scale out of 10. I'm going to give this a solid 8.5 out of 10 minis. I really enjoyed this Monday Night Raw. I thought everything was paced really well. There was a little bit of everything from good wrestling to some fun comedic spots to development of storylines, some cool really promos. We got new women's tag champions, so that makes me really excited. And you know what? I really enjoyed this. I thought there wasn't really anything I hated, really. Well, except for maybe Nia Jax and the Becky promo, but even then, I'm intrigued by their match that's happening at day 1 in 2 weeks. But I give this an 8.5. My luchador friend, what do you give this week's Monday Night Raw?
I'm giving it 9. The only thing to me in 10 was the Nia Jax promo.
That is very fair. Like I said, there will be no Monday Night Raw review next week, given the fact that it is the best of show, because it is going to be Christmas Day. And Hunter is, being good on his word by allowing the roster a week off for the holidays and not making them work like underneath a former Vince McMahon regimen, which makes me really excited and happy to see that. But in 2 weeks, the Raw Squad will be back because we will be covering the Day 1 edition of Monday Night Raw. And of course, you will get to catch us there for what's probably going to be another fun, exciting show. But if you enjoyed this review, you can check out other Raw Squad reviews as well as other shows and pay-per-view reviews here at the Biconics Wrestling YouTube channel. If you want to get notifications on when these videos go live, or you just want to see some fun behind the scenes clips and out of context stuff that we talk about, you can follow us all over the social medias at BC WrestlePod. And of course, if you want more insight in what we do, as well as more unhinged versions of our stuff, You can subscribe to wherever your favorite podcasting network is or the Biconics Wrestling Podcast channel. It is a great time. We are so more unhinged in the podcast version of what we do here. It is a fantastic time. But of course, from myself, my luchador friend, and the rest of the Biconics boys, remember, take care of yourself, love one another, and as always, stay Biconic, you beautiful bastards. And of course, at the time of this recording, a Merry Christmas, a Happy Holidays, whatever holidays you are celebrating this season. May it be full of joy, love, and wonderful memories for each and every one of you. We'll see you in 2 weeks for the next Raw Squad review. But until then, we'll see you later. Ta for now.